Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and thanks for tuning in. Everybody knows about Tony Snell's zero-stat performance while playing with the Bucks, and today we're going to be looking into more of those awful stat lines and find the worst stat lines in NBA history. You aren't going to want to miss a second. First up is Andre Roberson, February 25th, 2016. The Pelicans ended up taking the dub, but if a certain player on the Thunder even contributed a little bit, they may have won the game. Andre Roberson may have done the impossible. In 22 minutes of play, he recorded no stats outside of taking 2 shots. He had 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, and nothing else in any other stat. This isn't surprising though, as Roberson may have one of the worst jump shots of all time. I just know that Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant were pissed though, as KD had 32 and Russ had 44 that night. Speaking of Russ, that's who we're going to take a look at next. At number 2, Russell Westbrook, December 28th, 2011. You think that Russell Westbrook has had some bad games with the Lakers? Well, none of those even match up to how bad he was on December 28th, 2011. The OKC Thunder were playing the Grizzlies that night, and even though the Thunder won 104-102, it was all in spite of Russ. Russell Westbrook's stat line only ended up with 4 points while going 0 for 13 from the field, along with 4 turnovers. Somehow, with all of this, he still ended up with a positive plus-minus during the game. Imagine the boos Russ would get in LA if he put up a performance like this there. At number 3, Tony Snell in February of 2017. Next up, okay, this has got to be the most infamous Twitter meme stat line of all time. The Tony Snell game. He actually has put up no stats in multiple games, but in this one, he was on the court for the most amount of time. On February 24th, 2017, almost a year after the infamous Andre Roberson game, Snell put up a stat line of 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, and 1 foul in 28 minutes. He did only take 2 shots, but I can't imagine just running up and down the court for an entire NBA game and pretty much doing nothing except cardio. I guess he wasn't a negative on the court at least. At number 4 is Joel Anthony on January 9th, 2011. To be fair, he didn't have to do much as a starting center on a team with LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh, but that doesn't make his stat line on this game any better. On a night that the Heat defeated the Portland Trail Blazers, Joel Anthony played 29 minutes and almost did nothing. He had no points, no rebounds, and no assists. He didn't even attempt a shot. He did have 1 turnover and 4 fouls though, so I guess that you consider him a presence at the rim? Those Heat teams did make it to the finals that year, despite Anthony's low impact, which brings us to what may be the worst finals performance of all time. At number 5, John Starks Game 7 in 1994. This may be the worst Game 7 performance of all time. In the 94 finals, John Starks had a night that Knicks fans will probably never forgive him for. In Game 7 against the Rockets, Starks shot 2 of 18 from the field and 0 for 11 from beyond the arc. With a couple of free throws, he was able to get 8 points with only 2 boards and 2 assists to go along. Was the coach scared to tell him to stop shooting or something? This sort of bricklaying is something even Ben Simmons would be proud of. This performance ended up costing the Knicks the series though, as Patrick Ewing and Derek Harper tried to pick up the slack, and the Knicks only lost the Game 7 to the Rockets by 6. At number 6 is Kenyon Martin in the 2003 Game 6 NBA Finals. The final stat line we're going to cover today is another NBA Finals disaster class. No one was expecting the Nets to come close to the Spurs in this series, so I'll cut them some slack. But this rivals Starks' performance for the worst in an NBA Finals. Kenyon Martin was only able to score 6 points, but what made it even worse was this was on 3 for 23 shooting, which is horrible. He was able to grab 10 boards, but just with the shooting, it makes it one of the worst stat lines ever. The Nets ended up losing the game and the series that night, and Martin has to feel pretty awful for that performance. Well guys, that's going to do it for today's video, so thank you all so much for tuning in. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon for more content just like this. We'll see you all in the next one.